Namaste and welcome to Yoga Story Daily Dose of Yoga. We are continuing on with our hip series and today talking about our hamstrings, which help extend the hip. So when we're in, for example, our airplane pose, hamstrings are working here to help create that hip extension. So our hip extension is like this, our hip flexion is like this. Hamstrings are made up of three muscles. We have the biceps femoris, which in addition to helping with hip extension, also helps with lateral rotation of the hip. The biceps femoris, all three of these muscles are located at the ischial tuberosity, which is also known as our sits bone. So right along here, we're looking at the skeleton posteriorly. And the biceps femoris in particular goes from our ischial tuberosity, from that sit bone, down to the head of the fibula. So in our lower part of our leg, we have the fibula, which is that thin bone that runs along the lower part of the leg. And we have our fibula, which is that larger bone that runs along the lower part of our leg. The biceps femoris is the only one that runs from our sit bones, one of the hamstring muscles that runs from the sit bone to our ischial tuberosity to the head of that fibula. The other two muscles are semitendinosus and our semimembranosus. So our semitendinosus runs again from the sit bone down to the front of the tibia. So that runs along here to the inside front of the tibia at what is called the medial shaft of the tibia. So that's right below the patella, or that front bony part of the knee. And our semimembranosus runs again from our sit bones along the back of our tibia. So those are the three muscles of our hamstrings, which again help with hip extension. And again, two of those muscles, semitendinosus, semimembranosus, help medially rotate our hip, while the biceps femoris helps to laterally rotate the hip. So we have medial rotation. So in our wide leg standing fold, for example, when we turn our toes in, that is medial rotation. Hamstrings are helping with that. External, or rather lateral rotation, is our that one muscle in the hamstrings, the biceps femoris, which allows the toes, for example, or our hips really, to laterally rotate, so rotating outward. So those are the muscles of the hamstrings and what function they perform for our hip. They also perform function because they cross the knee for the knee, but we will talk about that another time. Thank you so much for listening, so much for watching, and we will see you back here tomorrow on Yoga Story Daily Dose of Yoga. Peace.